Good morning, my people. How y'all doing? Hope y'all doing well, man. I am up and about, man, trying to get some things done. As you can tell, man, I am on the way to go in. What I wanted to do, man, though, I wanted to share with y'all some of the results from Saturday, right? So they had a rather sizable training, man, for the system, like I mentioned last week, that I built, man, and it went well. See what I told you? It went well. And I think it went well because, man, there were quite a few that attended, man, that I hadn't seen in maybe 4 years, man. But it was a wonderful thing to be able to reunite, you know, with friends that you hadn't seen in a while. They glad to see you, you glad to see them, man. It was a wonderful thing. It absolutely was. And even though, you know, I had my reservations, man, I was thankful, man, to see those friends there, because we just picked up where we left off. So like I said, man, it's a wonderful thing. It really was. And I even got an opportunity to help some. I got an opportunity to really take a good look at the system and, you know, how it performs now. Do some updates to it, make some corrections to it, man. Really get some things on it done so that those who are going to use it again, they'll be able to benefit, you know, from the system and using it and all of the hard work. So, man, it didn't turn out like I thought it would. But then again, we as humans have a tendency, man, to produce in our minds the worst case scenario. And that situation might not ever come to fruition. It might not ever happen. But we have it in our minds that it does. So it went well. I was able to meet my obligations in that regard, man. So I was able to uphold my manhood. I gave my word, and I stuck to my word, and I fulfilled my obligations. And that's what I encourage everyone to do. Fulfill your obligations. Your word is your bond, man. So make sure when you talking and you make a decision, you make a promise, you engage in a legal contract, man, make sure that you follow through. That's what I would say. And so, you know, like I said last week, I did something positive, and something more positive happened to me. I was able, like I mentioned, man, to rekindle some old friendships. I was happy to see a whole lot of the brothers that were there, man. It was a wonderful thing, right? So now that's just the preliminary. We got something we need to talk about, okay? And this is especially for the brothers, man. You know, when something happens with us, I have to make my thoughts known on it. The incident with the Oscars, man. I know you already know what I'm talking about. The incident with Will Smith. Let me be clear. I support Will and what he did. I support him. And I know what you're thinking. You're saying, okay, well, Marcus, you know, you're a positive guy and you don't advocate for violence or anything like that. No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't advocate for violence. I don't advocate for endangering the lives of anyone. I don't advocate for that. But in this particular instance, in this singular instance, I could absolutely understand where that man was coming from. People want to talk about violence on a national television program when the majority of movies that are made, the majority of TV shows, sitcoms, and things of that sort, we feed off violence. We feed off violence. And so you see this man go up and slap Chris Rock because at this particular point, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Will has gone through quite a bit. I remember seeing him one time on the Breakfast Club, and it's clear that Will is going through a metamorphosis. He's changing. As far as his manhood is concerned, he's changing. Because at one point, he makes it clear that he wanted to be squeaky clean. He wanted to be an individual that, you know, was a good role model and things of that sort. So he always wanted to do things in a way that would reflect well. Well, that's something that I try to do. That's something I believe in. But let me tell you something. Let me be honest with you about that. You are human. And as a man, there are going to be situations where you can't be positive. So don't think I'm naive. Don't think I'm dumb. I understand that there are going to be some situations that you just can't be positive in. There are going to be some situations that you're going to have to behave in a way that's not characteristic of what you would like to portray. You're going to have to do that. And I think that's where Will is finding himself. He's finding himself in a situation where he is going to have to do better in the area of protection. So what do I mean by that? Well, as men, isn't that our primary directive? You know, that's a Star Trek reference there. What's the prime directive for most men? Provide and protect. So put yourself in that man's shoes. Think about that for a minute. It's clear, it's evident that there is trauma in the family. It's evident. It's evident that what the man is trying to do at this particular point is put his family back together. I can understand where he's coming from, because at one point, that's what I was trying to do. Put my family back together. Right? So I understand what he was trying to do. I understand that he wants everybody to be happy. He wants everybody to be healthy. And so in this particular instance, like I mentioned, put yourself in his shoes, right? All of the jokes that have been made about him, it's okay. With most of us, we don't, you know, if you're on your purpose, you don't care. A person can make as many jokes as they want about you personally, but when you cross the line and when you decide to aim your jokes at family members. Because see, as the man of the household, there's absolutely nothing you can say about me that's going to bother me. You know why? Because as the provider for my household, what you say don't take anything away from my ability to provide and protect for my family. It doesn't take anything away from that. So you can say what you want about me, I could care less. But when you ain't met my wife, or you ain't met my children, or you ain't met my mom, or you ain't met some of my brothers and sisters, now we have a difficulty. We got one. We got one. Especially in an instance where a person is having a medical difficulty that they have no control over. Mrs. Smith has alopecia. So why would you make any kind of reference to her and her appearance? So now what you're doing is you barking up the wrong tree. You barking up the wrong tree. And in that instant, Chris Rock chose violence. He chose violence. And see, this is something that I think people have forgotten. Most people, they've forgotten this. We live in a country that's so sensitive. We're so tolerant. People have forgotten that the tendency of a man, when he is confronted with danger, is either to confront that danger or to flee, right? So when you put Will in that particular instance, what do you think he's going to do? He gonna sit there and laugh at your jokes, right? He gonna sit there and let you continue to talk. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all crazy. And then you know that's absolutely disrespectful, because if Will was in the position where he could walk up to the stage, the man was too close. And you cracking jokes about his wife and he that close to you? Chris Rock better be glad that this morning he woke up with all his teeth. Now that's my opinion on it. I'm with Will on it all the way. I'm with him on it, because here's the thing, man. People have gotten too used to being disrespectful because there are no consequences. Well, now you got some consequences. Now you got some consequences. You met with one of the Cubs, and now the lion is out there trying to get you. You met with the family, and now you got the lion out hunting for you. See, that's the thing, man. And as black men, I think it's crazy. I think it's absolutely insane that we are robbed of our ability to express a full range of emotion. He had done that to anybody else, man, and they had expressed the same sentiments that Will expressed, it wouldn't have been a problem. But because that's who we are. And because that's how they look at us, now he's some kind of villain because he took into consideration the fact that his wife was sitting right beside him as they were cracking jokes about the way that she looked. What you expect a man to do? I'm going to tell you something. And this is the truth no matter how you take it, no matter where you look at it. There's still some things in this world that you can catch for free. And them hands is always something you can catch for free. We giving out hands like we're giving out food stamps. You can catch them. If you disrespectful like that, I can't say I wouldn't have did the same thing. You cracking jokes about a condition. This alopecia is a condition, right? It's a condition. And then think too, I know that there's a lot of us that don't really think too much about Mr. Smith's wife, but think about Mrs. Smith. Think about her for a moment. Think about the courage that it took for her to appear at the show with her husband with her head looking like mine. Think about the courage, right? Biblically, your hair, especially for a woman, is looked at as a crown of beauty. That's her crown. And because of some medical condition, she loses her hair. And you think the man who is her husband, who has taken on the responsibility and the obligation to provide and protect for her, is going to sit there and let you make fun of his wife in front of him? Come on, man. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy, man. People talking about, oh, he shouldn't have did that. Oh, he... Stop that. Stop the cap. Stop the foolishness. Like I mentioned, man, if I had been in that same situation, I think I probably would have did the same thing that Will did. Because there are things that they're trying to work out as a family. All through Will's book, you see, there are things that he's trying to work out. There are things that he's trying to get right. Let the man alone, man. Let him alone. Let him alone. Because if you keep poking anybody, keep poking them, keep poking them, keep poking them, what kind of reaction do you think they're going to have? What kind of reaction? Right? But see, here's the thing. In this particular instance, Chris Rock thought it wasn't going to be no repercussion behind him making the jokes that he was making. Right? But Chris Rock knew what was up. He knew what was up. Look at the stature of Will and look at the stature of Chris Rock. Chris Rock do not want no problems. He don't want no problem with Will Smith. He don't want none. So if you want to exist peacefully with me, you want us to coexist, be respectful. And then I won't have to slap you in the mouth. That's how I looked at it. So like I mentioned, man, I'm with him all the way. I don't care what anybody say. Because here's the thing, if you continue to apply pressure to anybody, you make a wise person act foolish. You make a wise person act foolish. That's that man's wife, that's his family. He trying to hold everybody together as a good protector and a provider would. He trying to have peace in his household. He trying to have peace with his wife. Let that man have some peace, man. Those are my thoughts on it, man. I just had to say that, man. I know my thing is positivity, but a lot of times you have to protect your peace. You have to protect your positivity. And sometimes people push you to the point where you take a road that you don't usually take. But like I mentioned, man, I don't have any qualms of conscience about what that man did. And I hope that Will this morning didn't get up with a heavy heart because of it. Because, you know, not too long ago, the disrespect would have ended in a showdown at high noon. And somebody would have walked away and the other person wouldn't have. So I'm just saying, you know, people need to learn to be respectful. Watch what you say, because it might not work out for you. All right, y'all. So y'all know what I say. Y'all know how we end things. Look, be positive. Be positive. And, of course, if you do something positive, then some things will return to you in greater measure. I'm proof of it, man. It happened for me this weekend. And I'm hoping that the rest of the week is wonderful for you all. I hope that everything you plan to do, man, meets with success. And I am gone. Peace.